Sir, up to this, it is very clear for you people what are new features which came in the 1.7 version with respect to exception handling. Try with resources. Second one, multi-catch block. Sir, now the next there are small two important words are there. Of course, we discussed in our last sessions, which are very commonly asked in the interview room. That's why you people should have clarity, sir. What that is, one is exception propagation. Are you getting exception propagation? Sir, what is the meaning of exception propagation? Maybe a chance to ask this question. Okay, very simple, sir. Suppose I have one method is there, sir, M1 method. Observe very carefully. We discussed already, but this word we may not use. We didn't use. Observe. Sir, now M2 inside M1 I am calling M2 method. Inside M1 I am calling M2 method, right? Sir, now I am taking M2 method. Sir, inside M2 an exception raised. Observe very carefully, sir. An exception raised, sir. So, inside a method, if an exception raised, and if we are not handling, now this exception will be propagated to caller. Regarding this exception will be propagated to caller. Now, who is the responsible to handle that exception? Caller method is the responsible to handle this exception. Sir, this process is called exception propagation. Everyone can able to understand, right? Sir, inside a method, if an exception raised, and if we are not handled that exception, now exception will be propagated to caller method. Sir, caller is responsible to handle that exception. This word is called exception propagation. Clear, right? Okay, propagating exception from one method to another method. Okay, well, sir, another word is the very common, rethrowing an exception. Throwing exception. It is also what is the meaning? What is the purpose of rethrowing an exception? What is the meaning of rethrowing an exception? Sometimes maybe a chance to ask in the interview room. That's why let me talk. Suppose I'm taking try system.out.println 10/0, sir. Can you please tell which exception will be raised? Respond. Which exception will be raised? SOP of 10/0. Arithmetic exception will be raised. Now I'm writing catch block, sir. Catch arithmetic exception E. Sir, handling code. But inside catch block, what I'm trying to take is throw new null pointer exception. Throw new null pointer exception. Sir, originally raised exception is arithmetic exception. Now inside catch block we are throwing which one, sir? Null pointer exception. Means that we are converting arithmetic exception to null pointer exception. Okay, so it's this type of thing is called rethrowing exception. Can you please observe that? Rethrowing exception. So where we can use this approach, right? Converting one exception type to another exception type. Maybe this type of exception. So for handling purpose, somewhere I may have some special code. That's why converting one exception to another exception. Sir, this process is called rethrowing an exception. Everyone can able to understand, right? These two words a bit important for the interview room. What is the first one? Exception propagation. What is the second one? Rethrowing an exception. These two words you should aware. Clear?